Hey everyone, I hope you well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Bitcoin. Big up the CoinsKid crew. Thank you for liking the video yesterday that I did on Fib Circles and you really nice comments. I really appreciate that. And I see the same old people sticking around, which is amazing. You know, people that pay attention and people that focus and people that don't switch off and lose interest, they're the ones that reap the rewards, okay? Because they're not driven by, you know, the market sentiment, basically the herd mentality. And I can't express this enough. You can see it at the top. You know, people are fearful of selling at the top and people are fearful of buying at the bottom. You know, the more that fear that intensifies and the more at the top people say, oh, you're delusional, calling for a correction, you know, that's the thing that you think about, and you think, okay, well, everyone's thinking the same thing. Do the opposite of it. I can't express that enough, and I don't even need to explain that to the people that are sticking around watching these videos, because I think they understand it. I see the comments, and I think you get it, okay? And it's market psychology 101, and you know, people make money doing the reverse of that time and time again, okay? And you start to see the fear build up at the bottom, and you start to see the euphoria build up at the top, like, oh no way, Bitcoin's never coming back down, it's going to the moon and stuff like that. You know, we can have targets, like I said to you, when we got to 69k, we got to come in for a retracement. Hit the 1618, we came in for the retracement, but it came deeper than anticipated. So we're actually in a bigger retracement, a bigger correction than anticipated, and that's something you can never predict, okay? So right now, wouldn't it be great to say, okay, we're going to correct from here all the way back up and going to be in an even bigger correction to the upside than we anticipate? That'd be amazing. But anyway, it's just called market psychology, trading the ranges, moving with the waves of the market and going against the herd mentality, okay? So right now, let's take a look at Bitcoin. You can see that it's a bit flat, down 1.4% over the last 7 days. It's very sort of flat, isn't it? It's sort of a bit indecisive at the moment. I know everybody's expecting some kind of big dump down to the 20k mark right there. Possibly it could happen. We got that CPI data coming out today, which could negatively affect the markets. I think the stock market spat its dummy out yesterday, hasn't it? In, you know, anticipation of that being really negative coming out. So we'll see, you know. But one thing we are beginning to see is some kind of, you know, decoupling from Bitcoin and the Nasdaq, because Bitcoin has been really correlated with the Nasdaq, but the Nasdaq shot up recently, and Bitcoin's just sort of crabbing and going sideways. So is it the beginning of some decoupling, or, you know, who knows? No one's got a crystal ball, have they? But let's keep an eye on that. But one thing we can say here, that Chainlink looks as though it's topped here and it's coming back, okay? Because you're coming back for retracement to the low that you're putting in May. Now it's all about that retracement that Chainlink's putting in right now, because I think, you know, as a whole, that'll give the game away. If you start to see Chainlink correct relatively deeply here, then it would indicate that Bitcoin's coming in for a correction as well, and all the other coins are coming in for a correction. Now, you know, does Cardano lose them lows in May? Who knows? Does Chainlink lose them lows in May? If it does, it's going to be a massive correction across the board. Who knows, okay? But if we can come back and hold that in a higher low, we're looking pretty tasty, to be honest with you, in the altcoins, and it could signify the bottom for Bitcoin. Now what I'm going to show you right now is some indicators that I tend to look at now and again with you. So let's jump in, okay? So looking at a CBBI index, you can see that we're currently at 22, which is, in my opinion, a fantastic entry point. But again, nothing to say financial advice. Here, if we take a look, I've got this sort of projection right now. We've been in this impulsive move, corrective move, just there, okay? And then we've got that big monster impulsive move. And right now, we've been in this corrective move. And it's sort of correlation with altcoins as well, because they've put in an ABC zigzag, in my opinion, that's coming to completion. And Bitcoin is putting an expanded flat correction, which I think is coming to a completion. Now, you can see when we had this correction here, in 2019 into 2020 with a corona dump, you can see here, look at the heated map here, look at the heated price action. It turned light green, it never went dark green at the bottom of that correction, and you can see right now we're light green again, in my opinion, at the bottom of this correction. So this would be a fantastic entry point. Again, you know, nothing I say is financial advice, everything is for educational and entertainment purposes only, but you can see if this does actually turn dark green, whenever it's been dark green, that has never not been a really good place to get involved in Bitcoin. So if it does turn dark green, we do dump again, it does go dark green again, you know, it would be a fantastic entry point, wouldn't it? So that's the CBBI index. I'll drop a link to this. This is pretty cool, because this never got to 100 in this cycle, okay, which is what I'm anticipating. If you see this at 100, again, you don't need me to tell you, apply a bit of common sense against the herd mentality. Again, if you see it at dark green down there at 0, apply a bit of common sense herd mentality, basically. So another indicator is the fear and greed index. Let's take a look at that. So looking at fear and greed index, you can see we're right down in the floor here, extreme fear, extreme fear, extreme fear for many weeks now. If we take a look at the over time, the crypto fear and greed index over time here, this chart, you can see way back since 2018 when we come down and we're at the bottom of the bear just there. Look at that, staying down there for a very long time. Look at that big cluster down there, okay? Look at the big cluster where we are right now. Okay, we're at the bottom of this correction, in my opinion. Look at the big cluster. It really does resemble that big cluster there when everyone was really fearful, but we all know what that was. That was the bottom of the bear market, okay, and at that point we start to put up a lovely impulsive move into 2019 where we had that big corrective move again leading into 2020. So I've gone through this with you many times before. I think what we've got here, and I'll show you again on the charts using the CBBI indicator, I think we've got the end of the bear market there. I think we've been in 1 year impulsive move, 1 year corrective move, 1 year impulsive move, and we've been in this 1 year corrective move, and the CBBI is backing that theory up as well. And right now we're missing this sort of big impulsive move to the upside, which will get this to 100, okay, which will be amazing, you know. And at that point we've not in any of these corrections actually come down to zero. So it's not necessarily a bear market, it's a correction. Do you understand? So again, let's look at the charts, okay? So you can see right now everyone, including myself, is sort of anticipating this trend line to retouch. You know, will it happen? Is it guaranteed? There's absolutely zero guarantees with Bitcoin, you know that. But one thing we've got here is this 20 crossing the 100, and usually within 1 week we do bottom, okay? So wherever the price is next week, I'm loading up. Nothing I do is financial advice. You don't have to copy me, you know. I'm going to do me, you're going to do you. It is what it is. But for me, that would be an amazing indicator. Next week, whatever the price is, I'm loading up, okay? And again, nothing I say is financial advice. Please don't take it as financial advice. It's just my own opinion. You can see we've got a death cross just there on that weekly candle. Week later, bottom. If I move to the left as well here for Bitcoin, we got a death cross just there. Do you see that death cross? 1 week later, we bottomed. So for me, whatever the price is next week, regardless of whether it's bounced off support or anything like that, I'm just going to enter Bitcoin. And, you know, that's me, basically. So, you know, that's just a quick little update for you on Bitcoin today. If we do roll, I think it'll be an opportunity. And if we don't, and we come down and just retest this wick just there and create a lower low, you know, a high low, sorry, and create some reversal pattern down here, then I would say, okay, the low's in, because, you know, you've got your cross, you just retrace into that low, and at that point we're going to start to come back up, and then fib circles are looking pretty tasty, like I said to you, from there to there, and that would actually be my projection. Let's get the magnet on. I've gone through this with you in yesterday's video. Let me switch the magnet on so I'll get the absolute nail top here. And a lot of people say, well, I'm not using that top. Well, this is the top. In my opinion, this is an A leg, this is a B leg, and this is a C leg. You've got your ABC expander flat correction, and this is my projection for Bitcoin all the way up there, roughly 200k. I'm just going to call it 200k, okay? But this hold has to hold. This low has to hold, obviously, for that projection right there, okay? Oh, you enjoyed that little update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.